Jenna Jameson. I am staying in these people's homes, so I don't have to pay for a hotel. 2 nights at $150 a night is, at least $250 or something like that. The wife of this household, she's a big Troma fan, and she really insisted that I stay here. So there's a small child in the place, and I don't exactly have the movies where I don't have, it's not like hotel where you can have those porno movies on at the Hilton Hotel or that kind of stuff, but it's free. The family who owns this place, who are Troma fans, have left for the day. They have a small child and they had to take the kid to daycare, and they left me alone in their house, which is quite trusting. And it's a tribute to Troma, really, that people who we've never met are willing to help Troma. They know that we're not rich, and they help us save the hotel money. And plus I get a nice breakfast. Now the phone's ringing. I don't know what to do. Should I answer that? Well, maybe I'll answer it and see what happens. Hello? Oops. Hello?
Hi, you have reached the Chase residence.
Who's that?
Either we're away or we're unable to come to the phone. So if you could please leave your name and phone number, we will reach you as soon as possible.
Yeah, hi.
Bye.
Yeah, where is it?
By the lamp.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to it right now. How do I turn it off? Which button is it? What button is it? I don't have my glasses on. Which middle button do you think?
Far left.
Huh?
Far left.
Okay, here we go. I push far left button. Huh? What? Okay. Hold on, let me get my glasses. That'll help.
Okay.
I'm glad I answered the phone. I didn't know if I should answer it or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's see. Yeah. Oop. It's weird. Well, it doesn't seem to want to turn off.
I'll call you right back.
Okay. Maybe call me back. It's still going. Oops. At any rate, this is the sort of thing one gets involved. Phone's on. So I've arrived at the South by Southwest Film Festival, and I wasn't even going to turn the camera on, to tell you the truth, but I have the impression that this festival is genuinely a festival that encourages independent cinema. And since it has been revealed to us that the Sundance Film Festival is totally bogus and has nothing to do with independent cinema, I'm going to maybe chronicle a little of this fine South by Southwest Festival in Austin. They got John Sayles here and Peter Bogdanovich, who indeed has his roots in independent cinema and is definitely an auteur director. People actually seemed happy to see me when I showed up, which is kind of unusual. At least, I mean, that is unusual in my case normally, but especially happy. Seemed to like the fact that I was an independent filmmaker. So let's see what happens. This gentleman has been kind enough to take me around.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hi, Jim. Thank you. Whoa, dig it. Got that on film. I sure did. Troma's on the case here.
Lloyd Kaufman?
Sure am, buddy.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Would have recognized you yesterday. My name's Ray. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ray.
Very big fan.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it. At any rate, this seems to have a much mellower atmosphere than the Sundance Festival. So far, I haven't been given the high hat by anybody, and people really seem to be interested in movies, and I am very pleasantly surprised. Who knows? Maybe Troma has found a place where independent cinema is indeed appreciated. Not only that, but it's in Texas, Utah, the Sundance Festival, which is supposed to be ground zero for Robert Redford's vision, seems to be totally fascistic. And meanwhile, here in the middle of Texas, where they drag black people behind pickup trucks, they seem to have an amazingly vibrant worship of genuine independent cinema, and no baloney. Werner, how are things going?
Things are going incredibly well. Lloyd Kaufman is here.
Hi, Lloyd Kaufman.
Hello.
Hi, Troma.
This is a good friend of ours, Rachel.
Yay.
How do you do?
And we're just getting ready for the Texas Hall of Fame film gala tonight, and we will see Lloyd there.
All right, we're gonna see you later, Werner. Cheers.
Jimmy, come on over here.
Bye, Jimmy. Jimmy is he's trying to figure out who the fuck is this old guy who he thinks he's met me. He's probably trying to figure out where he's met me. So there's a bit of a moral issue here about the fact that Jack Valenti was inducted into the Texas Hall of Fame, and since we consider him, we independents consider him to be sort of related to Satan, but I'm going to hold my tongue because I'm a smart person. I'm a very intelligent person, so I'm not going to cause any kind of scene. I'm not going to. And plus, my wife has made it very clear to me that she would be very disappointed in me if I move in an untoward way, because I'm a guest here, and I should just grow up. This man behind me is Louis. Whoa! Who is that? Who is that beautiful face? Hey, what's going on? Just out. How are you?
Here to honor you.
Nice to see you.
Flew all the way here.
The dude is here. Incredible.
The dude is here to honor Lloyd.
Well, thank you very much. So, Louis, what's the Troma? What does Troma mean to you and South by Southwest?
Oh, it's exactly what South by Southwest is about. It's the spirit of independence. It's about ideas. It's about energy. It's about getting the film made, regardless of the obstacles. We love Troma.
If you are fortunate enough to count Jack Valenti as a friend, you may not need any other. He is a friend to the end.
I'm very
because
happy
he is a man who has done well
in the context of
done
this.
good. And if you somehow find yourself with Jack Valenti as your enemy, let me assure you, he will rock you.
Jack Valenti is leaving the room. Jack Valenti is leaving the room.
Dan Rather is the contrary to what Ann may have called him. This is not a democratic fundraiser.
Where is he's running. Oh my Lord, he's running. He's running. Jack Valenti is running. Oh my God, where is he going? Oh my heavens. What happened? What happened to Jack? What happened?
He just has to go to the bathroom.
Holy cow.
Because he's going to be on stage soon.
But I've never, I mean, he must have had to really go. Oh my Lord, that was amazing. That was incredible. Should we? That's not Jack Valenti. You said Jack Valenti was in there. This is incredible. Jack Valenti has just jogged into the bathroom, ladies and gentlemen. I've never seen an 80-year-old man run as fast as he has.
It is my pleasure and honor to present the Warren Scarron Lifetime Achievement Award to the Honorable and Accomplished Jack Valenti.
There he is. Holy shit. Jack Valenti, the man who fucked Toxic Avenger, jogging. Incredible. This is an amazing Troma moment.
You have to understand.
God clearly does not exist. The fact that the 1 year I get invited to this place, Jack Valenti, the man who has done more to destroy independent cinema, the man who has done more to destroy independent cinema, gets a standing ovation. Not since Hitler.
For as long as he had.
Not since Hitler was.
He has to be coupled.
Memorialized in Triumph of the Will. Has there been something as obscene as this? At least in my own meager. This is incredible. This is really something. They don't, you know, they're doing the Troma retrospective. They don't even have a fucking table for me. But meanwhile, this fucker gets a standing ovation. But I'm not supposed to cause any trouble, right? I'm supposed to be a real nice guy, right?
I say any more, I want to get one
no,
thing
I'm not
straight
supposed to
clear the air.
make any waves. I shouldn't.
I've never owned a share of Enron stock.
Ah, yeah, Enron stock.
Never served on their advisory board.
Fuck him.
Although,
Fuck
in the interest of full disclosure.
Unbelievable. This is pretty fucked up. And the table, no table, the fucking doing a retrospective of me, and they don't even have a fucking table. They stick me with a fucking bunch of reporters that's sitting in my chair. So I'm saying, and then I heard a lot of ass-licking speeches, and people kind of fucking anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, I think.
Worked with Warren. We can do that much over at
At least they had some liquor here.
We'll tell you.
I take it all back.
My wife
this
and
festival
I
has no
use
interest
electricity
in
from
independent
time to time.
cinema. I take it all fucking back. Let them kick me out of this fucking place.
What is so
we must go. We got to get out of here. We must go. We got to get out of here. This man has done more to destroy independent cinema. Let's go. Yeah, let's get out of here. Yeah, don't you think? I mean, this guy. This is the person who cut 20 minutes out of Toxic Avenger. This is the person who's responsible for the death of many independent movie studios.
Okay, let me change my corporate shirt to a regular shirt, and I'll be right with you guys.
Can I watch? May I watch?
No.
In my life,
I mean, this guy, look at this. I don't even get a seat. I don't even get a seat at the fucking table. This guy gets a standing ovation.
Classic fascination.
I'm really sorry,
Politics
Lloyd. If this were my film festival, I'd make sure you'd get a standing ovation or I'd start shooting people.
I have known
You understand? Shooting them.
South by Southwest Film Festival. Good morning, glad you guys could make it. Oh, wait, it's not morning, it's afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to the low-budget filmmaking panel. We have a very prestigious group of people on the panel. Starting with Lloyd Kaufman, Troma.
By the way, you know, Troma has been making movies for about 30 years, like The Toxic Avenger and Sergeant Kabukiman N.Y.P.D. And we invented the shoestring, not invented, but for 30 years we used the shoestring system of money of making movies. But about 10 years ago, we brought in the Velcro system of low-budget filmmaking. And that is something to think about too, because new technology, the independent filmmaker has a tremendous advantage because he will go to new technology. And the big hope now
Taking his act to Vegas after this.
the way to get around way to get around the big devil-worshipping international conglomerates to get your movies as new technology.
All right, so
remember, shoestring, Velcro. And I have a new book, by the way, if you don't mind. At Christmas, Make Your Own Damn Movie. Make Your Own Damn Movie, which is a soup to nuts textbook on how Troma makes movies. Whatever Troma has done for 30 years, anybody can do. So the hope is that if people like Michael Hers and I, with little or no education, no money and no talent, whatever, if we can do it, anybody can do it.
You can get really good actors if you can prove to them that, you know, you've got the goods as a filmmaker, which is not necessarily easy to do.
I disagree. I think the key to getting your actors is you're the filmmaker. They do what you want. It's about the film. It's not about convincing them. In my opinion, the actors must be totally devoted to the writer, director, filmmaker, hopefully the same person.
Everyone should be paying attention to what we're doing. Doesn't matter what you're doing, pay attention.
Okay, here we go.
We have to tell everybody 8 times everything we do. We got to tell you. Pay attention.
And it's about the filmmaker. The filmmaker should have total 100% control over the actors.
But actors contribute to the process. I mean, an actor can elevate material that's just average.
Indeed.
I'm waiting to squeeze a fart out of this PA.
When we do a movie, because we're not union, we have 2 or 3 months of rehearsals. The actors are, it's all about the film. They sleep on the floor. They eat cheese sandwiches 3 times a day. They defecate in a paper bag. They must be, they bring no baggage whatsoever to the film. And that's the nice thing about unknowns. If you've got to use Tom Cruise, and suddenly it's all about Tom Cruise, or it's all about the guy from whatever. The point is, make your own damn movie, and it's about you, the filmmaker. It's not, it's not about feeding the actors. It's not about the, the cars and there are 3 rules of production at Troma. Safety to humans, safety to people's property, and then make a good movie. Independent cinema has absolutely nothing to do with the Sundance Film Festival, or in my humble opinion, or the Toronto Film Festival. These film festivals should not be charging entry fees, and they should not be using Mercedes, and they should not be charging $2,500 for a subscription to tickets, or even $15 for tickets. Step number 1 is do not make your film, in my opinion, don't make your film to have anything to do with Sundance. And if it gets in, great, but it's fixed, in my opinion. Sundance should be called HBO Dance, at least the dance that happened last year. Every other one was an HBO movie. And we established Troma Dance Film Festival. There is no entry fee, and tickets are free, and there's no VIP policy.
You can always count on Lloyd for a plug. But he's got a good question. I'm serious. Lloyd, to your credit, Troma is profitable. Troma makes money and makes money for filmmakers. How does that, clearly you don't pick up a movie unless you know you're going to sell X number of units, right?
100% wrong. That's absolutely why you shouldn't pick up a movie. We didn't have Chris Gore be the moderator at the Troma Dance Film Festival panel because he's selling tickets. If we wanted, we could get a big, fat, marginalized independence critic named Roger Ebert if we wanted to do that. A person who never talks about independent cinema unless it's Miramax or New Line. You know, those are divisions of Disney, and we did it because the man has something, that Chris Gore has something to say about independent cinema. Troma Dance is, the reason I'm bringing it up, is that Troma Dance is a way that there are some film festivals out there that are ways to, that if they're run properly, it is a way to expose. The public is desperate for movies and art that comes from the heart.
There are a few companies that are still out there that can pay in advance and are looking for interesting films that they can find a unique way to release, and you need to find a company that like that.
What's the name of some of the companies?
Lot 47, IFC Films.
Hold on a second. Lot 47, how long have they been around?
They're a fairly new company.
1 year, 2 years?
3 years, I believe.
Okay, so you have to be very careful. When you give your rights away, you got to make sure that the company's going to be in business, because otherwise all your movie goes down the drain in bankruptcy. Can you name one a distributor that's been around for more than 5 years that's independent?
It's not owned by a studio.
It isn't yet. Well, an independent studio, by definition. IFC is not an independent company, with all due respect. It's owned by some other.
It's owned by Kabukiman. But IFC Films, for instance, is a company that has enough, financial backing to put in a decent P&A into your movie, and is still looking for films that don't scream, Hollywood kind of independent films.
Louis Pasteur said that there is an easy solution to every problem. And there is. Car crashes, you can do them. If you go to see Citizen Toxic, it's got explosions, it's got special effects, it's got car crashes, it's got gunfights, it's got 8 different characters with special effects makeup that would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And exactly, no humans were injured. That's exactly correct. If you can have a long pre-production period, you can solve most of these problems. You can get pretty much everything that you want for a movie. There's no problem that is insurmountable. Oh, by the way, there's a Troma celebrity in the crowd. Frank Reynolds, editor of Romeo and Juliet, just edited In the Bedroom. Frank Reynolds.
Frank, did you ever ask Marissa Tomei about the Toxic Avenger?
No, I was too chicken. I would see her during In the Bedroom. I would see her in the production office, in the hallways and stuff. But I was never introduced to her, so I never really got a chance to meet her. And so I always chickened out. I always meant to ask her about being in the Toxic Avenger, and I totally chickened out. The funny thing, I told Todd Field, the director, about it, and he found it really interesting, and he's just like, oh, don't worry, I'll ask her. But I don't think he ever asked her either about it.
We never would have known about Marissa Tomei being in Toxic Avenger, except that she talked about it in some interview.
I heard that.
Yeah. Otherwise, we wouldn't. I had no idea.
But I heard you couldn't find the actual interview.
No, when she was an Academy Award nomination, she did an interview and she talked about Toxic Avenger as being her first movie, and we could never. But I never was able to find the printed.
The actual interview.
Yeah, right.
No, put your arm in.
Yeah, put your arm like
inside.
Yeah. If you can do it behind your back, it's best.
Okay.
Well, so that your elbow's not sticking out.
Can you go like this? See?
I can't do it any better than that.
Well, look what I'm doing.
I see how you're doing it, but my elbow doesn't go.
Your elbow doesn't do that?
No.
Does your other elbow do that?
No. That's as far back as...
Are you doing this right now? Or are you doing this? Is your elbow straight? Can you do this? I just wanted to see if you can straighten this. Straighten that elbow.
Straighten. The elbow is straight.
Okay, now put it behind your back. Your elbow's not straight.
That's as far as my elbow goes, I swear to God.
Is this part against you? Is this part against, like, hitting you?
Yes.
Chris is getting irritated.
I'm just trying to figure out exactly the movement.
He's agitated.
Just, they don't know my anatomy as well as me.
We're gonna have to duct tape his arm to his back.
Wait a minute.
What?
This is the right hand. You cut off the wrong fucking side. This is now a flip.
You just put the shirt on backwards.
Put the shirt on backwards. Put the shirt around.
Oh, we're such idiots. This is Troma. This is, Lloyd's gonna be like, oh, why does he got the shirt on backwards?
Fucked up.
What the fuck?
Okay. And then we got this here. It's gonna be duct taped here. You're gonna have to probably like just stand right.
What?
You do this right here. Okay, let's stick this thing on. We're gonna glue that. I think we're gonna glue it. No, duct tape it. I think we're gonna have to duct tape that to this part of your arm. Like this is gonna have to go and go around your arm.
Well, for God's sakes, man, let's get on with it.
If the backup plan was if this tubing thing doesn't work, we're just gonna fill this thing up with shit. And
so
like I think yeah. So this thing is dual purpose. Well, maybe you should help.
Exactly.
You just stepped on the hand. Okay. We're gonna stick this over you.
A sack. That's it.
Careful. Okay, try to put this on. Be careful not to kill the cube. We're gonna have to do some retouching on the tube when we do it, so be careful of the arm. Quit moving, Chris. It doesn't do. Can you move it all? Where do you want me to go? Can you go like you know how like if it was squirting? It's just gonna squirt. It's gonna squirt straight down. Yeah. Yeah, this has to be concealed. I think the original plan was for this to be still concealed by the thing. And then can you move your arm at all?
Yeah, so we shouldn't have cut the sleeve right here, right? So long up.
Probably.
We should. Ah! This is not gonna. Lloyd left a message 10 minutes ago.
I didn't hear the phone ring. Like, how's it coming?
Hold on.
This is so fucking ghetto.
Yeah, just like
Wait,
that.
hold your other thumb in your pocket too.
Yes.
There you go.
But what's wrong with his arm?
No! The blood comes now. Oh, my arm. I have leprosy. My arm fell off. Jesus Christ.
Put it back in the pan. I don't want it. Here. Open it.
This is gonna suck.
See how this is fucked up here?
Fucked up?
Should've gotten 2 shirts.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're $2. Can't we pick up another one?
Yeah, it's in fucking South Austin.
Oh.
You wanna drive
We can
home?
rig this better. We can put more tape on this. And we can make it closer to the actual rig. This is just a practice. I mean, it's not gonna be perfect, obviously. We can conceal this a little bit, okay? We can make this a little better. And we can, what is this? Okay, see? We can fix that. Okay, here, let's say we fix that. We fix that. We tuck that in a little bit. No, not so. And now hold your other hand the same way. Hold your the thumb. Yeah, do the exact same thing with your other hand. What do you think, Chris?
You look like the elephant man.
Do a little jig.
I think jig.
This is it. This is the jig.
Okay, I'm gonna do an arm rip here and I'm rip the arm off, and then we're gonna practice it the good way. I'm gonna try to secure this. Okay, so I'm just gonna be like, dum-de-dum-de-dum, and then you came up with Toxie. Now here's Lloyd. I'm about to rip off Lloyd's arm. Maybe Lloyd's arm won't come off. He rip Lloyd's arm off, and then he just kind of swings back and he's just like, you know. And then because this is all cool and gory, it should be like, yeah.
One other just brief thing. There's a Texas filmmaker who has been a protege of Troma and continuing the Troma way of life here in Texas. Barak Epstein made a wonderful movie called Corn Man that was here, and he is in charge of some demonstration today in the Troma tradition. Barak Epstein. He and William Akers, Chris Scruggs, and the beautiful genius Tromette, the goddess of Tromette hyperthermia, is here, and all helping the cause of independent. There's hypothermia, very buff today. Well, here is Barak Epstein, the director of Corn Man. Barak, why don't you take this microphone?
You think the voice also come out because and we need Toxic Avenger and Kabukiman to come out also, and Lloyd Kaufman, who is the purveyor of all these effects. Basically, well, normally when they do an arm rigging special effect, Lloyd has been pre-rigged here. You probably don't notice it or not, but we've rigged him. One of his arms is ready to go. It's got some tubing and some other stuff in it. Well, Toxie, maybe we should do the thing. Maybe tell us, just go ahead and rip Lloyd's arm up because it's ready to go. You ripped their contact.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh my God! Incredible! Go to this way.
This is gonna suck.
There you are. Give him a hand. Oh. Give him a hand.
No one noticed the big guy with the orange sweater coming up on the right, but basically this effect cost about $2, which is a surprise you can get at 4 in the morning at a Walmart. So basically we didn't have the rest of the stump, so if you don't have the rest of the arm and you can't get an arm somewhere, sometimes you just got to get
like a tennis thing here. Put some stuff here. There's some goop and there's some.
What is that?
We got some pasta
What
here.
is
And
it?
some butt
Stuff?
It's a stump made out of a tennis ball container. All right. So if you don't have a real stump, you don't have a guy with actually a real stump. You just get a tennis ball container and you have him hold the thing here.
I would like to make one observation as someone who's been pioneering the do-it-yourself effects. When you do blood, you don't want to have a color like orange that is nearly the same color as the blood, because when you photograph it, these are young guys that they're just starting out in life. We've been doing bad effects for many years. You want to use like something where the blood is very, very visible. So yellow or white.
The second rule of Troma is, one of the other rules of Troma is also spend less money.
Yes.
And when we were at the store to get the effects, we had only $9.18, which was in the Troma budget for the effect. The orange shirt was $2 and the blue shirt was $4. So we saved a little bit of money on that.
The arm ripping in the Toxic Avenger movies, whilst it doesn't exactly look, it looked pretty real here, if you ask me. I thought it was real for a minute. But the magic of movies and the right lighting and the right action, and as Mr. Wolf said, if the people are involved in the film, they will not notice the rubber or the tubing. Anyway, we should probably move on.
Yeah, we got
maybe let somebody else demonstrate, and then maybe you could do a head crushing.
You want to do a head crushing?
Well, let's wait and let somebody else have some time.
You guys need a little setup?
Thank you, Barak.
Life is full of miserable chores, like washing windows and fighting in wars.
But I'm pretty fucking pissed off at Barak for using those fucking honeydew melons. This is only the beginning. Barak will have a nervous breakdown by the time this 2-day visit to Dallas is over. He will get revenge for that lousy pump, for that shitty orange shirt having blood on top of orange. I'm putting that poor Chris in that terrible rig. Barak will pay for this. We will be tortured.
That's great.
Special effect, nice effect there, thank you. But luckily it's just water and no harm done, hopefully. Except for the electrical cable here. In Citizen Toxie, there's an old woman who is hit by a car and her head is squashed. You know, we've seen that plenty of times. On the other hand, in Citizen Toxie, it keeps going. The old woman is hit by a car, her head is squashed, her eye spins around inside the squashed head, and she defecates and urinates. Now that's filmmaking. It's fine. But the point is, maybe that's not what you guys wanted. That just happens to be the Troma thing. But the idea there's a lesson there in that nobody expects the eye to spin around, and then people figure, well, that's pretty cool. It's over. But then more. So I think that's a valuable lesson. Try to surprise the audience within the limits of safety, obviously. Don't actually. Again, we had a stuntman. We matched the stuntman to the old lady. As much as we may hate old people, we don't want to run them over and kill them. Stuntman. Dante's Peak, a volcano movie that cost $200 million, had all the effects in the world, but they forgot to put. It was about a volcano, and they forgot to put the lava. They had no lava in it. 20th Century Fox. They did, on the other hand, they did dissolve an old woman in acid. Other than that, the movie was.
They're stealing from you again.
At the beginning of just about every Troma film, you have the New York skyline shot there. Will we continue to see the Twin Towers in the future New York skyline shots at the beginning of
For those of you who don't know, the New York, the World Trade Center was collapsed. You may have heard about it. But many of it's a good question. Harry is right on target because there has been this attempt, there's been erasing the World Trade Center from Spider-Man, isn't it? And I heard that Friends was trying to rub it out. What's the thinking? The establishment has lost its moral compass. They're such crooks. They're so sleazy, they're so screwed up with their blacklist, with giving awards to Elia Kazan, a blacklisting director who got the highest honor from the Motion Picture Academy. They're so screwed up with that they for a period of time, they thought, well, let's erase the World Trade Center. I mean, it makes no sense. The first shot in Citizen Toxic, the very first shot is the World Trade Center. And the movie opened in New York City November 1st, which was only a few weeks after 9/11. And the audience clapped. The audience, when they saw it, they were applauding for the shrine, which is what it is.
So in future films?
Oh, absolutely. No. Sure. In fact, it's in our logo, and it will stay in that opening. Right. It will stay there.
Just a little curiosity.
The Toxic Avenger, on which no money has been spent on advertising. We have never had any public relations department. We've never had a publicist. Yet Toxic, just by word of mouth, is part of the lexicon. New York Times uses him in editorials. Ralph Nader, Troma supported Ralph Nader during the election, and one of the big national magazines depicted Ralph Nader in green holding a mop, and they called him the Toxic Avenger. And hopefully people out there will use Troma as an example for independent effort. And word of mouth will. The studios, no matter how much money they have, no matter how many millions and millions of dollars, they cannot buy word of mouth. They cannot buy the public's enjoyment. They can stampede people into the theater through brainwashing, the way Mao Zedong did in China by having posters everywhere and $80 million worth of advertising, but they cannot buy word of mouth. And that is why truth will reign. Truth brought to you by Harry Knowles. Truth. Harry Knowles. Well, again, Troma is not out to take down Mickey Mouse. However, we are very pissed off about the fact that the copyright law of 19... Do you guys have to... oh, you guys okay? Okay, good. They get very upset when they hear about the rodents. But...
How far is too far?
I don't think I would do a movie suggesting that Hitler was a good person. I wouldn't do a movie suggesting that Hillary Clinton was a good person. Not South by Southwest. I don't even know what South by Southwest charges money, but I'm sure whatever South by Southwest does is like Shakespeare's wife beyond reproach, because in all honesty, this is a totally idealistic and wonderful. Well, hold on, wait a minute. When they did give Jack Valenti a standing ovation the other night, that was pretty fucked up. But the MPAA is a problem for independent companies. They're really, in our opinion, there's an awful double standard between the way they will give an R rating to a movie like Scary Movie, where a penis goes through somebody's head, and then in Terra Firma, they cut in the R-rated version, there's a shot of me eating a taco that was considered worse than a penis going through somebody's head. I found that personally very insulting, because I'm very tired. We look for movies that are original, something that is not the next Toxic Avenger. Unfortunately, I mean, you can see it with big movies, there's always the next. I'm sure there's going to be lots of next Lord of the Rings, and there'll be the next, there's always the next. Too many people say, we've got the next Toxic Avenger for you. We've got the next Romeo and Juliet. We want you to do Merchant of Penis, or whatever. And that's not what we want. Is the first Cannibal the Musical. I guess what makes the Troma thing exciting is that we have a team of people who are literally there due to a love of cinema. They're there in order to create something that they can believe in, something that they feel will stand out, and something that will have that will produce in the audience some kind of very, very strong emotion. So I think probably for me the most exciting part is the on-set collaboration of what we call the Troma team. Before every movie it says Troma team, the Troma team production.
Special
Oh, Toxie, how you doing? So where is Friends Forever now? Oh, okay. Oh, good. Let's do it. We just so we're going to Friends Forever. Let's go. Hello.
Everybody got their stamp on their shirt?
I don't. Lloyd, you rule balls. Now the Troma team, when I bring this back, finally the Troma team is going to have some respect for Lloyd Kaufman, right, gentlemen?
They better respect.
What do you do with that lube? You Jason? Jason and Jason.
Look, the lube.
Wow.
Autographed lube.
That's pretty cool.
Oh,
Can you guys go under the light a little bit? And,
At the powers that practice oppression on the powerless idle masses, they'll crush the skulls of the transgressors.